The Honda Goldwing and Goldwing Tour share the same 1833cc flat-six engine and touring DNA, yet key differences separate them. From top case storage to passenger comfort features, this comparison breaks down what truly distinguishes these two flagship tours, helping riders decide which Goldwing variant best matches their riding style and touring needs.
The standard Goldwing skips it entirely, giving it a leaner, more bagger-style profile with a shorter windscreen and no top case. The Goldwing Tour adds a 61-liter top trunk on top of the shared saddlebag storage, and Honda points out that's roomy enough to swallow 2 full-face helmets. If you're the type who packs for a 2-week trip rather than a weekend blast, that trunk changes the calculus fast.
That trunk isn't just about cargo space. On the Tour, it doubles as an integrated passenger backrest, which matters enormously on multi-hour rides 2 up. The base Goldwing's passenger still gets a proper seat and grab rails, but without the backrest built into the tail section, it's a noticeably different experience for whoever's riding pillion on longer hauls. For solo riders or those who rarely carry a passenger, this is a non-issue. For couples who tour together, it's arguably the deciding factor. Both bikes use the same double wishbone front end, but the rear suspension setup pulls them apart. The Goldwing Tour features electronically adjustable rear spring preload, with 4 settings that run from rider to rider plus luggage to rider plus passenger to rider plus passenger plus luggage, so the bike self-adjusts its ride height and damping character based on how loaded it is. The standard Goldwing relies on manually adjustable rear preload instead. It still works, but you're turning a knob or reaching for a tool rather than tapping a button on the dash. All that extra trunk, backrest, and electronic suspension gear adds mass. The base manual Goldwing comes in at 806 pounds curb weight, while the Tour models run heavier. Figures for Tour DCT trims land somewhere in the 830 to 853 pound range, depending on configuration. It's not a night and day difference in how the bike rides, since the Flat 6's low center of gravity does a lot of work to disguise weight either way, but it's real. And riders who prioritize low-speed maneuverability in parking lots will feel it.
For 2026, the base Goldwing with a 6-speed manual starts at $25,500, and the automatic DCT version bumps that to $26,500. Step up to the Goldwing Tour and the manual DCT structure carries over, but pricing climbs. The Tour starts around $29,500, the Tour Automatic DCT lists at $30,500, and the range-topping Tour Airbag Automatic DCT, which adds an airbag system to the mix, tops out at $33,800. All figures exclude Honda's roughly $775 destination charge. That's an $8,300 spread from the cheapest base Goldwing to the loaded Tour Airbag DCT, which is a meaningful chunk of change to weigh against how much trunk space and passenger comfort you actually need.
It's worth being clear about what doesn't change: the engine. Both bikes use the exact same 1,833cc liquid-cooled flat-six, producing roughly 125 horsepower at 5,100 RPM and about 125 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 RPM, with a top speed electronically limited to 105 miles per hour. Neither model is chasing a spec sheet horsepower war. Honda tunes the whole platform around smooth, linear torque delivery rather than outright power, which is exactly what you want hauling 2 people and luggage across a few hundred highway miles. Ride modes, Tour, Sport, Rain, and Econ, Hill Start Assist, Combined ABS, and the 7-speed DCT option, where equipped, are shared across the lineup too. Infotainment is also consistent. Both get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless compatibility through the same TFT display setup, so you're not sacrificing connectivity by choosing the leaner bike. Beyond the trunk, the standard Goldwing's shorter windscreen gives it a slightly more aggressive, stripped-down stance, closer to a sport tourer than a full dresser. The Tour's larger fairing and windscreen are built around maximum wind and weather protection for long stints in the saddle. Neither is objectively better. It depends on whether you want a bike that feels a bit more agile in corners or one that prioritizes shielding you from the elements on an 8-hour interstate day.
One thing that can get confusing: transmission choice isn't what separates the Goldwing from the Goldwing Tour. Both models are available with either the 6-speed manual with an overdrive 6th gear and a manual reverse function, or the 7-speed automatic DCT with walking mode for creeping the bike forward or backward at parking lot speeds. So Tour versus non-Tour and manual versus DCT are two separate decisions, not one. The Tour lineup goes a step further by offering an airbag DCT variant, which isn't available on the base Goldwing at all.
Honda's own positioning leans into this. The standard Goldwing is pitched as the more nimble, sportier styling option, thanks to its lighter build and shorter rear bodywork, while the Tour is the proven traveling companion, built for maximum two-up comfort over long distances. Neither bike is what you'd call flickable in the sport bike sense. This is still an 800-pound-plus touring machine. But the base Goldwing's edge and agility is real enough to matter for riders who value low-speed handling and tighter, more spirited roadwork over outright cargo capacity. The standard Goldwing makes the most sense for solo riders or occasional passenger riders who want the full Goldwing experience. Smooth, flat-six power, shaft drive, premium tech, without paying for storage and passenger comfort features they won't use. It's also the pick if agile handling and a lower price of entry matter more to you than outright hauling capacity. The Goldwing Tour is built for riders who tour two-up regularly, carry serious luggage, or simply want the most complete, adjustable, weather-protected version of the platform Honda sells. It's consistently the top-selling configuration in the lineup, and it's easy to see why. For riders committed to long-distance travel with a passenger, the extra trunk space, integrated backrest, and self-adjusting rear preload solve real problems, rather than adding needless bulk.
The Honda Goldwing and Goldwing Tour aren't really competing products. They're the same excellent touring platform tuned for two different missions. If your riding involves a passenger, real luggage, and multi-day trips, the Tour's extra storage and adjustable suspension justify the added cost and weight. If you ride mostly solo, want a slightly sportier feel, and don't need 61 liters of trunk space you'll rarely fill, the standard Goldwing delivers the same engine, the same core technology, and the same legendary smoothness for several $1,000s less. Either way, you're getting the same flat-six heart that's made the Goldwing the standard other touring bikes are measured against. The only real question is how much bike you need wrapped around it.